Oh hey, didn't see you there. Terrible stuff. Hello and welcome to Noosa in Queensland, Australia. Welcome to a video that has nothing to do with this beautiful breakfast bowl that I am going to enjoy though. This is another production vlog. In case you are new here and you don't know who I am, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Vandeputte, channel all about time-lapse travel and teaching, and a production vlog is a vlog where I take you behind the scenes on a time-lapse production. So let's get going. Swoosh. Vsauce, Matthew here. So first up, the gear. Let's talk about what we are shooting with because I know y'all love some gear. We've got two Canon 6D Mark IIs. The reason I'm shooting on the 6Ds is because they have a built-in time-lapse movie mode, as I assume you know by now, in 4K resolution. Not only that, the photos that come out of it are great. It's a full-frame camera. The battery life is amazing. I really love this camera. It's my new favorite time-lapse machine. I own one. I'm borrowing this one from Canon, but I'm gonna buy a second one soon because I use two of them on pretty much every production I do. Then for the cinematic stuff, the slow motion shots and all that juicy goodness, we've got the 1DX Mark II. We've actually got two on this shoot because Nico, who's shooting currently, is holding one in his hands. Lens-wise, we have the 24 1.4mm Mark II, which is a beautiful piece of glass. It's got a large aperture, so it lets in a lot of light, so it's great for low light shooting and a really shallow depth of field, which makes everything look really special and nice. Then my favorite lens, the 24-70 f4. The reason it's my favorite lens is because it's wide and tight. It's a zoom lens, it's really sharp, it's lightweight, it's got a nice 77mm filter thread, and it's got a built-in macro function. So if you zoom in to 70mm and then you flick this switch, you get macro shots, meaning you can get really close to subjects and fill the screen with nice details like textures or water droplets or stuff like that, which just sets the footage apart from other stuff. So yeah, really stoked with this lens. Then for nice establishing shots, landscapes, or you know, inside teepees or tents or whatever event spaces, we've got the 16-35 f4, also a stabilized lens. So when you're shooting video, it's always nice to have stabilization built in. And then, you know, an all-time great, we've got the Canon 70-200 2.8 IS Mark II, which is a big, beefy, heavy zoom lens, but amazing lens for shooting video with, and stills as well. Then for tripods, we've got a couple of photo tripods and one nice video tripod for long shots. We've got a couple of Rode microphones, and we've got another 24-70 on the setup that we're shooting with right now. This is the basics. We've got more. We've got a drone, we've got a Phantom 4 Pro and a set of filters. We've got PolarPro, sent us a whole range of filters, really cool stuff. And yeah, you'll see them in this video. So let's swing to the first day of shooting early in the morning in Noosa National Park. We are currently in Noosa National Park. It's about 10 AM. We are starting off today in between the rain. Hopefully it stays clear. We're gonna get some nature shots, so they're pretty much like destination establishing shots that we can tie in with the hyperlapses. So we're looking for some pretty macro footage, you know, forestry, maybe some wildlife would be great as well, and maybe some surfers, that would be good as well. Just past, I think, Tea Tree Bay is what it's called, which is a popular surf spot. We shot some slow motion and some tight shots of the surfers with a long lens. The light isn't amazing though, but I wanted to shoot some of it anyway. I think tomorrow it's going to be better, so tomorrow we're going to come back with the drone and probably reshoot all of this content, but at least we've got something in the bag now. We've got some really cool surf shots. But yeah, the light just isn't what I was hoping for. It should be clearing up today, that's what we've been told, and I can see a couple of gaps in the clouds, so hopefully that arrives soon. Because when you're making a tourism video, you want obviously the colors to pop and it being sunny and everything, and we don't want to talk about rain at all. So we got to make it look as good as possible, so people are, you know, so people book some tickets to come here. That's pretty much the goal of this whole video. Something we didn't talk about in the last production vlog, but something that we touched heavily on in the previous ones, is a shot list. What better place to build your shot list than in one of Australia's most beautiful national parks? We're here at Dolphin Point. We've just gone over the storyline and all the activities and all the events that are happening throughout the Noosa Food and Wine Festival. The only thing that we have to shoot today is a live stream of the sunset with some surfers in the foreground, and then afterwards there's the food and wine launch party. So those are the two main things. Now the storyline is set up, we can start building our shot list from there because we're going to follow a chronological timeline, so it makes sense in the edit. We're going to start off with the sunrise sequence, then do the yoga stuff, then cut to some nature footage, then to the Audi long lunch, then we're going to go to the village, then we're going to cut to, what else was it? Oh yeah, parties. There's a couple of parties on at night, semi at night around sunset, and then from those sequences we're going to cut to the sunset footage, so we end on a nice scenic beautiful sunset. And again, any video that you show to people, your beginning shot and your ending shot should always be beautiful and powerful, because those are the two shots that stick in people's minds. It's the first impression of the video and it's what's happening at the end. So those two shots are really important. So we're keeping our fingers crossed for some better weather than this and some beautiful, beautiful sunrises and sunsets over the next couple of days. It's a bit past 1 p.m. Before we head off to lunch to get some food and look at some of the footage that we shot this morning, we're now scouting Main Beach in Noosa. These are the teepees. So the teepees are one of the key activations of the whole Noosa Food and Wine Festival, and we're here to see what it looks like and what the angles are that we'll be shooting tomorrow morning at sunrise. A couple of things that immediately pop into my head as a worry are these orange, whatever you call them, safety poles or whatever, because we'll be shooting a drone shot, like a hero still or a hero piece of imagery, and this just really doesn't look too good. Then another worry of mine is that the teepees openings are quite low, and I was hoping with tomorrow's yoga session that we can get a nice wide shot of the yoga people in the front and the sunrise behind it. But the spacing's just a bit off, so we got to find a couple of alternative angles in case that initial idea doesn't work out. So we'll go look around it a bit more and figure out the alternative angles. Got a bit of time to spare today, so might as well get some time lapses out of the way now that we've got some ideal low altitude clouds. Difference between high clouds and low clouds is low clouds always move way faster, so we don't need to shoot as long. We can probably get a time lapse sequence out in about less than 10 minutes. So we're going to shoot two shots, one wide angle here and then a longer lens compressing the beach, so we have two cutaway shots. If you're wondering about the filter that's on this lens, that's the PolarPro ND16 circular polarizer. We're making a video about that as well, but that's going to be a separate upload. Pretty much it cuts through some haze in the sky, it really makes the clouds pop, and I love it for shooting time lapses because it just makes it into a more contrasty, more powerful, more saturated image. We're shooting with a 2-second interval and we're shooting 300 seconds in total, so that is 600 seconds divided by 60 seconds equals 10 minutes. So this shot goes for 10 minutes and then it's in the bag. As this one is shooting, we're going to try and set up a second shot. As I'm explaining that, I realize we only have the one tripod with us, so we're not going to do that. I'm currently lubing up, jokes. I'm using some sunscreen because if you're not from Australia, you might not know this, but the sun here burns you to a crisp. We've been on the beach for a bit over 10 minutes because that first shot was 10 minutes, and you can feel it already. If you don't watch out, especially if you're in a bit of a windy zone, you won't even realize, but you're really like burning up, destroying your skin, potentially getting some really bad melanomas in the future. So stay sun safe. This is not a joke. I'm serious.
Cool. It is happening, people. The bucket hat is out. I repeat, the bucket hat is out. I can't even speak English anymore. That's how much I'm focusing on this bucket hat and the zippy pants, and everything's out. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful. Look at this. This is beautiful. This is dedication.
Hot footage, watch out.
Oof. We're gonna get crowded, man. We're gonna rock up. It's like, it's bucket hat man and these two bags.
We're swarming with people. They'll look at me from afar and come over to see what all the fuss is about. So we're on the way to First Point. It is currently 4 p.m. The sun sets in 1 hour and 7 minutes. We've got a lot of gear on us because we're shooting a couple of things at the same time. We're going to shoot a live stream that's going to stream live, obviously, to the Queensland Facebook page with close to 2 million people possibly tuning in, which is, you know, mega. And then we're going to shoot multiple time-lapse sequences at the same time of the sun setting, which is always fun. Unfortunately, as you probably can't see because it's fully blown out, the clouds have disappeared, but there's still some clouds in the hinterland. way in the back, so we might use some long lenses to have a look at some of these clouds. And I just noticed that there's people at our spot, so we'll have to go chase them away. Setting up the live stream. I got a lot of questions last time asking about how I live stream from a DSLR, and I'm using the Teradek Video, which is this little box. It has a built-in battery, but I'm gonna power it just to be safe so we can shoot for longer. With a battery bank, just like any phone charger battery, USB cable plugs in the back of this little device. We're also going to plug in a 4G modem, so there's a data SIM card in this, and then using Bluetooth, this connects to a tablet, and via the app on the tablet you set up all the settings. So I've been given admin access to the Visit Queensland Facebook page. We'll be able to set up a session, a live stream session, and go live at a certain time, and you know, put in the title and the description of the live stream using the app on the tablet, which is pretty cool. It's a pricey device, but it allows you to live stream with literally any video camera that puts footage and audio through a normal HDMI cable. So this side goes into the 1DX that we're filming on right now, and this plugs into the back of the video, and as soon as it has video or audio you can preview it on the tablet and then stream it live to YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, you name it. But the focus for this live stream is just Facebook on the DSLR, and then we're also going live to about 400,000 people I think on the phone on the @Queensland Instagram page. Alrighty then, that's it. We finished the live stream about 20 minutes. The one on Instagram, we had 1,200 people tune in. On Facebook, we haven't checked the stats yet, but it all went well. It was a bit tricky because I was panning on this photo ball head, so it's not built to pan like a video head, but we had to shoot on this bigger heavy tripod with the long lens because you need a sturdier base if you're shooting with a long lens. Because we didn't have any clouds in the sky, we had to really zoom in on where the sun was setting behind the clouds to have some form of like an interesting shot that we can use as a transition to go into the night bit, which will be probably the party scene. So now we got to wrap up quickly. We're still letting these guys run until they're completely dark. So I'm no longer adjusting settings. I was adjusting settings. That's a tutorial for very soon. We're now going to jet to the teepees over there and shoot some time lapses and slow motion, like cinematic footage of the party happening. Morning from Noosa main beach. It's currently about 6, who knows, it's 6:16. As you can see, we got the teepees here, people are lining up to do some early morning cold ass yoga because it's not too hot outside. Shooting 2 time lapses. With the 7200 we're shooting that way where the majority of the color was in the sky, with a bit of the headland as a bit of a recognition point in the image. Because the light changes so quickly in these spots, you have to change your exposure. So I do that as I'm shooting. I hit stop on the remote, press play, review the image, press start again so the time-lapse triggers again, and then I change the exposure. Maybe I don't change the exposure, depending on the light. Same technique with the 1635, both on the 16 Mark II, shooting raw sequences that we'll process later on in LR time-lapse. have a new mascot.
He's a working dog. He's going to be a therapy dog for
cool.
exercise rehab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The morning shoot is done. We shot heaps of time lapses of the yoga and the sunrise and the food after the yoga and the broth of life, whatever that was. We smashed some acai bowls and now we're on the way to the village, which is where all the little food stands and restaurants and chefs are going to be making food. So we're doing a location scout to figure out what the best shots are for later today, when it'll be a bit more crowded, because I don't think there's going to be many people there now.
Because this restaurant runs, maybe today's the day to go to Vegas.
Yeah, cool. It is currently almost 2 p.m. We've had a long day, so we started at about 5 this morning. We just got back from the village and the long lunch, which is, how long do you reckon that table is? Like 300 meters?
Yep.
In total. It's pretty cool. Shot some hyperlapses there on the crane, on the gimbal. If you want to know how we shot that, check out my tutorial about it. Now I am going through the shot list and storyline to figure out what else we need to complete the edit. The edit is in here. I haven't touched it yet on the computer, but I'm confident that we will make something great. Nico's been shooting some great slow motion footage as well, and we're going to try and combine time lapses, hyperlapses, drone footage, and slow motion with speed ramps into one single edit. Liz is getting all excited, and that guy in the car as well. Now, time for some lunch, a little bit of booch. We've got some hemp burgers coming. Nico has put us all on the vegan train today. Choo choo, and yeah, I'm excited to get going. I'm getting tired though, but it's alright. I'm working on a fun project. I'm surrounded by great people and great vibes. We're here at the Noosa Food and Wine Festival. Let's eat some burgers. Back at the village now. Got some food. We had a Red Bull. We're setting up some extra time lapses. Because it's daylight and you want to drag the shutter, so long exposures, we're using these PolarPro filters to extend the shutter speed. Shooting at a 1 second interval because it's people, and then because it's a 1 second interval, you have that's going to be your exposure time. So 0.5 a second shutter speed, and just make sure it's properly exposed. And we're trying to get some colorful little things, like, you know, umbrellas with Queensland on it, and umbrellas over there that are really nice and bright and vibrant. So yeah. Should be good. It's 4:30 p.m. As you can see, we're down by the beach. In half an hour, the teepees start off with a new party. It's a silver themed party. They've completely restructured the inside, the bar. There's not a lot of space, so I expect it to be extremely densely packed. So we got to shoot as many time lapses and possibly hyperlapses as possible at the start before it gets impossible to shoot. Pretty much right now we're just kind of sitting around waiting, getting a bit of rest before the last bit of hecticness starts. The party goes for a couple hours, after which we will jet home, slam a Red Bull and start the edit, and I hope to smash that out in a couple hours so we get a couple hours of sleep, pretty much. Having one drink and then we're gonna go grab some food and go home to start the edit. It is currently 6:30 p.m. It is 8 p.m. Offloading footage, probably take about 10-15 minutes, and then the edit starts. I have no idea how long it's gonna take. I hope a couple of hours, probably at least 2 to 3 hours. Ideally, we wrap it all up tonight and then get feedback in the morning. Who knows? It would be great to have a little day off in Noosa to go maybe for a surf. Who knows? We'll check back in a few hours and keep you posted on the editing progress. Good morning. It is it's a bit past 9 a.m. Just got confirmation from the amazing Tourism Queensland people that the edit is great, and there are 0 amendments. So I've added the sunrise sequences that rendered overnight. They looked amazing. I'm super stoked with them. They turned out really well. Added that, and then yeah, no amendments. How bloody good is that? I love working with people where you are on the same frequency, so there's no misunderstandings in what the goals are for the type of project or the production. And yeah, it's just great. It's a really efficient way of shooting and editing and working together. Love it. Nico is now outside. He's getting us some coffees. We're gonna finish this up, make the wide version for YouTube and Facebook, make a square version for Instagram, crop out a couple of Instagram stories, send it off, and then we have the whole day off. How bloody good. It is almost midday. All the footage has been sent off. The Instameet for tonight has been announced. Everybody's super stoked. I'm super stoked. And I just realized we're still shooting this vlog, and I'm like, Nico hasn't even been in this. But the guy to thank for a lot of the really great footage and all of this behind the scenes and all this, pretty much this entire production vlog couldn't have been made possible without the main man.
Steady hands.
Steady hands at Loreco on Instagram. How have the last few days been for you?
Amazing. We had a great time. The location is great. We shot a lot. It was fun. Like I always like, mixing all that sort of stuff, and it's beautiful out here. Can't complain.
Yeah, how good. And it's awesome to work with the people from Tourism Queensland and Tourism Noosa as well. They're just they're just always so excited and stoked on life, and,
so
and
happy.
I love it. Yeah,
like
good.
it just makes a big difference when you're working long hours and running around carrying big stuff all the time, and having happy people and things just goes a long way. Yeah,
exactly. Now it's it's about time for lunch, I'd say. The edit's done. I'll show it to you at the end of this vlog, as always. I think now we're gonna go to the beach or go walk in the park and see what's good.
Swim for sure.
Yeah,
so nice.
Bit of a relaxation station time. Let's go. Look at this goodness. Oh my lord. You excited?
Oh yes. Oh yes. Straight in, straight down. Dude, it's about 18 grand, and that's for the entry level stuff. It went up to 20 grand to be on a science course.
Checking in from first point here in Noosa. It is 4:15 p.m. We've organised a little Instameet. We've set up a little meetup, and we don't know if anyone's coming, but we're having a good time. We're just sitting here in the shade. I'm shooting on the phone because I've got the camera, but it's been a pretty hectic couple days shooting, so we're just taking it real easy. It's real easy. Got a couple of beers here, enjoying the view. It's just so wonderful here. I love Noosa. It's so nice. How bloody good. Nico's enjoying some dairy-free ice cream.
Good shit.
Beautiful. I mean, can you believe the view? It's a shame we don't have any clouds. That's 3 sunsets in a row, but it's a cruisy ass little spot. This is where we shot a sunset live stream two nights ago. I just wish I was on a longboard right now and cruising. Heaps good.
Next.
Got a little drone action going on by the one and only.
Howdy.
This is where you say your handle.
My Spurway.
Is that how you pronounce it? I never knew.
Yeah, what do you think? Are you on
Spurwaya.
Spurwaya?
Yeah.
Nah.
Sorry, bro.
It's just changed.
Mavic Pro. Got some beautiful scenery here. Got a little audience as well. How good. Are you just gonna fire it straight up?
Up and out. Out there.
Up in. Just shoot it. Oh, smooth. Heaps smooth. Nice. Just enjoying the view, and oh my god. That's about as Australian as it gets, bro. You're not even wearing any shoes, you're breaking on your feet. How are you, bro?
Good,
Up
mate.
top.
It's good to see ya.
Bam!
Love it.
Look at this. Look at this view. Bloody good. The sun has dipped below the horizon, the vibes are great, the light is still pretty good, we got some good shots. We're joined by
Tom.
Tom's a local. How long have you been here?
On and off 6 years.
Yeah, you're pretty much local. What's a message you want to share to the world if you have one?
Oh god, message.
Put you on the spot.
Put me on the spot. Just get down to the beach whenever you can.
Alright, it's the morning after. I'm checked out. Nico's got a cab to the bus. Any beautiful, beautiful Rachel's bag. Any goodbye words? Any message you want to share with the people?
It's been epic.
Epic, yep.
Check out the vlog.
They're watching it right now. You had a coffee already. I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
A message to the people, some advice you want to give, something you want to share. Look up at the sky, check out the birds.
Check out the birds. Try and use less plastic. There's millions of ways of doing that without like having to change things too much. Do it slowly, but yeah, check out things and check out the latest Nat Geo cover and article.
Yeah, how good is it? Yeah, I'll link it. Good seeing you, dude. Catch you in Sydney very soon.
Yep.
Woo! Alrighty, it is, what's it now, like 8:30, 8:45 or something. Nico's left. I've been picked up by the main man, Levi. We're going surfing for the whole weekend. Every day I was here, I see these people riding these cruise little waves, and it's all I wanted to do. So that's what we're doing right now. This trip was already amazing. We're catching like, what, 6 waves? Made it perfect. Thanks, bro. Such a good time. I haven't surfed in, I don't know how long, ages.
It was pumping.
Waves were like, was that a foot? A foot a wave or something?
Yeah, man. Oh, bro, we got
Big time.
so hard.
But I did my first little back to front walk on a longboard, which was ace. We're now drying off. I'm using a t-shirt because I didn't bring a towel. Then maybe grabbing a coffee, and then I gotta head back to Sydney. Back home now. I've been editing this vlog literally for the whole day. It is probably the longest video I've ever made on this channel. I'd like to thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Nico, for all the great help. Thank you, Tourism Queensland and Noosa. Thanks, Levi, for the surf. Thanks, everyone at the Instameet. It was amazing. I had such a fun time. Not too long here at the end. I'm gonna go on a babble. Yeah, check out the blog post with more details on how I shot some of the technical stuff. Check out the link with all the gear. They're affiliate link. So if you buy something from that, I get a little kickback and you help out the channel. Check out Patreon if you help out, and stay tuned for the upcoming Holy Grail tutorial, which is going to be great. If you haven't downloaded your hyperlapse tutorial yet, go check out the link down there as well. And that's enough spam for now. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you on the next video. Rolling?
Then we're rolling. We are live and running. Yep.
Morning from Noosa Main Beach. It's currently about 6, who knows? It is, it's not 6, it's 8. Let's do that again. What better way to build your shot lists? What better place? Off to great starts. Need an establishing shot. No, I'll talk about that later. Circular polarizer. When you're making a tourist video, when you're making a tourism video, it's all good. So that would be good as well. As well. That's alright. We can use that. Smashed it.